Well done. I haven't seen anyone take a beating like that since I had a fist fight with an ogre tyrant. Although in the tyrant's defense, my knuckles did have spikes coming out of them at the time. For you, I just used my fists. Don't worry. I'm not angry at you for picking a fight with me. It reminded me of the time I first came to the 8 Points, wanting to fight the biggest brute I could find, show those around me I wasn't a weakling. Unlucky for you, the first brute you found was me, a Varanguard. But a part of you knew that, didn't you? You've had the vision, but I can only assume from your blank look you're not actually sure what it meant. Most likely your little worthless section of the realms was unworthy of his attention until now. Congratulations on being the first. Well then, let me tell you what it means to be a Varanguard. Let me guess. In whatever little part of the realms you lived in, you were a mighty warlord. A large fish in a very tiny pond. Perhaps you were even dedicated to one of the dark gods, seeing yourself on the path to glory, hoping to eventually become a chaos demon. Then it happened. You received the vision. The vision is different for each person who receives it. Some see it as a symbol on a drop of blood, other a hellish wound in the sky. For me, it was a screaming face in the entrails of a disemboweled rival. What was yours out of curiosity? That fits you. That vision was a summons. Archeon the Ever-Chosen, Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse, has deemed you worthy of proving yourself and possibly becoming a Varanguard, his most trusted elite warriors. Most, like you, follow this call, swearing away old allegiances and separating from any armies they might have ruled. A few try to resist, but doing so is quite the challenge and isn't recommended. You'll constantly be plagued by nightmares, and wounds will appear on your flesh that will constantly spew black smoke. Archeon doesn't like people who ignore his authority. From there, you start on a quest that will require you to undertake 8 trials. Each trial different from the next, and each one suited for that particular applicant, and all extremely difficult. One of mine was to wipe out my former tribe. That one, I'll admit, caused me to hesitate. The elders of my tribe knew the secret recipe for a particular alcohol that they took to their graves, and it's sad I'll never be able to recreate it. If you survive those trials, and Archeon deems you worthy, you become a Varanguard. Beings as far removed from the legions of chaos as we are from the Grand Marshal himself. You are encased in powerful, black, heel-forged armor, and carry a warp steel shield that can shrug off the most powerful of magics, as well as weapons suited to your fighting style. Fell spears to run through enemies in a impaling charge, demon-forged blades that hungrily bite into enemy flesh, not to mention the tearing fangs of our mutated steeds. They may look like horses, but they are definitely not plant-eaters. With armor and weapons in hand, you become relentless killers, taking lives in an endless wave of destruction. And outside of the battlefield, you are respected, for there is only one being you take orders from, and that is the Ever-Chosen. Any demon that tries to throw his weight around should expect a good thrashing from you. Once properly equipped, the Ever-Chosen places you into one of his 8 circles. The first circle, the Swords of Chaos, are the Ever-Chosen's dark champions and brutal executors. They have been with the Ever-Chosen since the beginning, and ride by his side into combat. It's quite the sight to see them charging down from rents in reality, riding on carpets of raw chaos. The second circle are the Souls of Torment. They are masters of torture and fear, used by the Ever-Chosen when a little terror needs to be spread amongst the foe. The Scions of Darkness of the third circle seem to be disgorged from the shadows when they emerge onto the battlefield, the enemy screaming in fear, as it seems the very darkness is attacking them. A rather sour bunch who tend to stick around gloom-shrouded chambers, but a good group to have in a fight. The Reavers of Chaos of the fourth circle love nothing more than burning nations and reaping bodies. used as merciless pillagers who leave nothing but scorched towns, villages, and lives in their wake. The scourges of fate of the Fifth Circle are used against those stubborn rulers who unwisely don't immediately bow down to the Ever-Chosen. On the saddles of these headhunters, you will find many the skull of former kings, queens, and emperors. The blades of desolation of the Sixth Circle are masters of siege warfare. Their Hellforge hammers crumbling fortresses and scattering armies with every blow. The Bane sons of the Seventh Circle believe chaos only grows stronger if it feasts upon itself. They consume the flesh of enemies and allies alike in pursuit of such power, and many a weakened ally have found themselves their next meal after what was supposed to be a shared victory. Finally is the Eighth Circle. Only the Ever-Chosen knows their name, or even knows who they are. But it is said, he only sends them out when he wants to ensure nothing is left of the foe but ash and crushed stone. And considering no one has heard of their exploits, I can only assume they are extremely effective at their task. Although you will generally perform duties with your circle, you may occasionally be assigned to a Chaos Warband, to aid them in whatever campaign they may be a part of, or even better, assigned a quest by Archeon himself. Some vital mission he trusts you to complete. If you really distinguish yourself, do something truly exceptional in his service, Archeon may see you worthy of his mark. Burned onto your flesh by his blazing sword, the mark of the Ever-Chosen proves you are an elite among elites. I, admittedly, haven't received one yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Well, that's enough talk. Time for me to give you your trial. Don't look so surprised. Did you really think we met by accident? My mission is to relieve you of your ignorance, which I have, and administer your first challenge, surviving a simple fistfight. Oh, don't look so smug. The first fight was for fun. This time, I'll be fighting seriously. And yes, that means the spiked gloves are coming on. Good luck. And try not to bleed to death. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Varanguard from the Slaves to Darkness. Let me ask you a question, just for a bit of fun. What do you think your character in this story said was his vision to this Varanguard? It's a little extra very tired. Little audience participation / comment thing I'm trying out. So if you have an idea, put it in the comments. Let's see how creative you can be. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, press the little bells you know where I'm going to be posting a video, etc., etc. And if you're inclined and have the cash, which I understand you may not, especially in these harsh economic times, please consider giving a little extra money to my Patreon. The extra money gives me the time I need to work on these stories that I love. Thank you so much, and see you next time.